Hello and welcome to Your Government in Action, a presentation of Bahamas Information Services. I'm Carissa Williamson. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, along with the Downtown Redevelopment Project team, conducted a walkabout through the Straw Market on Bay Street on September 15, 2025, engaging vendors and stakeholders in revitalization efforts. The Downtown Redevelopment Project is an initiative to revitalize downtown Nassau by upgrading infrastructure and restoring historic buildings while also boosting local business and tourism. With enhanced public spaces, the project aims to create a downtown where residents and visitors alike can gather, celebrate, and experience the best of Bahamian culture and community. At the 47th Regional Commonwealth Parliamentary Association Conference, President of the Senate, the Honorable J. Lachelle Adderley, participated in a panel discussing sexism, harassment, and violence against women in parliaments across the region. That session took place at the British Colonial Hotel on September 9th, 2025.
A woman parliamentarian observed that they talk about your body as if it is to put you in your place to prove that they don't take you seriously. How many of you have had that experience? Don't answer. Don't put up your hand. Janine Compton Anton, a former politician from St. Lucia, said that she was thought of first as a woman and only second as a parliamentarian. She also noted that for her third-year budget debate, she wore the same suit as she wore for her first budget debate. The comment after the debate was, "Do you see that she's wearing the same suit?" The comment was not on the substance of her budget contribution. She said that there was not a comment on the substance of her debate. She further observed that a man can come into Parliament and wear the same suit for the entire years he's in Parliament, and there's not one adverse comment. How many of us women in here have experienced what Ms. Compton spoke about, especially during the opening of Parliament? A 2021 study on political violence in Jamaica documented how male opponents use racist, classist, and sexist language to publicly ridicule and undermine female candidates. In January 2024, opposition women parliamentarians in Guyana's National Assembly condemned a pattern of verbal attacks and disrespectful behavior from male colleagues during the budget debate. In sub-Saharan Africa, women parliamentarians complain that male parliamentarians think that it is okay to make sexually charged remarks. They don't consider female colleagues to be their equal, but only to please them. An Asian parliamentarian recounted, "Someone sent me information about my son, his age, the school he attends, his class, threatening to kidnap him." Mexico's historic 2024 election was also one of their most violent elections. Of the 130 candidates attacked, 30 were women and 4 were murdered. Others faced armed attacks, some were assaulted, and others received death threats. And social media is not our friend. Studies show that social media have become the #1 place for violence perpetrated against women parliamentarians. This includes humiliating images, mobbing, intimidations, and threats. As a consequence of the rise in artificial intelligence, women in politics experience challenges in relation to deepfake videos, disinformation, and tech-facilitated gender-based violence. A European parliamentarian recounted how she received more than 500 threats of rape on Twitter. Why is the impact on violence of women in politics? What is the impact of violence of women in politics? Well, I'm so glad you asked the question. Acts of violence, sexism, harassment against women in politics, it undermines the dignity and the human rights of women. It jeopardizes the rights, liberties, health, quality of life, and the lives of women parliamentarians and other women in political roles or women aspiring to become politicians. It seeks to discourage women from participating in politics and thus reverse the trend towards women empowerment and gender parity. It threatens democracy, peace, and security, and the overall development of the society. And finally, it discourages many women from entering the political arena, therefore creating a serious challenge to democracy. Pearl S. Buck, the first American woman to be awarded both a Pulitzer and a Nobel Prize in literature, reminds us, no country is a democracy whose women have not an equal share in life with men. And until this is realized, we shall never achieve real democracy on earth.
Former President of the Senate, Her Excellency Sharon Wilson, was honored for her distinguished service to the Senate at a dinner hosted by the current President of the Senate, the Honorable J. Lachelle Adderley. The dinner was held in conjunction with the 47th Regional Commonwealth Parliamentary Association Conference held at the British Colonial Hotel on September 9th, 2025.
Firstly, I do want to add my warm welcome to all of you who have traveled to our shores to be a part of this 47th Conference of the Caribbean, the Americas, and the Atlantic. Welcome. I want to say that I'm deeply honored tonight by the recognition of our esteemed President of the Senate and all those who have had a hand in making this recognition possible. I accepted with grateful memories, essentially of two sets of persons. The first being those persons who comprised the staff parliament when I was just navigating my way, and in my formative years as a parliamentarian. One of them, of course, the chief clerk now, Mr. Forbes, was just somebody who certainly helped to steer and guide me, and all of the others. I'm mindful tonight, as I accept this recognition, of the role that you played in my career. I'm also thankful for the opportunity to have served with a cadre of Bahamians who genuinely had the interest of this country at heart. And included among them is one who served as the leader of government business when I was president of the Senate, and who's here this evening, and I do want to recognize the Honorable Alison Maynard Gibson. Madam President, I assure you, I will always be mindful of everything that tonight represents.
More of Your Government in Action when we return. Welcome back. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture's Department of Sports announced updates on the Bahamas Boxing Academy project, highlighting the progress toward becoming a national hub for boxing and youth development. The announcement took place at the Queen Elizabeth Sporting Complex's boxing facility on September 11, 2025.
Today is not just the launch of a boxing facility, it is the ignition of a movement. The Bahamas Boxing Academy is more than bricks, rings, and bags. It is a symbol of hope, discipline, and determination, strategically designed to cultivate the next generations of champions, not only in boxing, but across the Olympic spectrum. This academy speaks directly to our nation's heartbeat, our young people, particularly those considered at risk, by providing structure, mentorship, and purpose. We are investing in the very demographic with the highest potential to shift the trajectory of this country. Let it be known, this government stands firmly behind this initiative. Through the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, we are committed to ensuring our young athletes have the support, the resources, and the world-class infrastructure they deserve. And when I say world-class, I mean just that. This facility is unlike anything else in the Caribbean region once completed. It is a state of the art. It is elite. It is designed to produce boxers that will not only compete, but dominate on the global stage. This is the home where Bahamian Olympians will be born. Let me take this opportunity to extend heartfelt thanks to Academy Chairman Nick Morn, who has personally committed over $1 million to this project. Let's give him a to trustee Mark Roberts, whose tireless efforts in construction have already resulted in saving these buildings and will lead to becoming a world-class facility. To our lead corporate sponsor, Capital Com, to the Bahamas Boxing Federation, whose commitment to these sports never rests. To the Bahamas Olympic Committee, ably represented by its president, Romel Knowles, to the dedicated team from BoxWise UK, who flew across the Atlantic to stand with us today and for the long term. And to Mr. Andy Ford and his great team here at the boxing facility. And of course, the passionate professionals across the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture who work every day behind the scenes. As we unveil this historic step forward, let us remember, we are not just building a gym, we are building dreams.
And now it's time to take a look up north with Andrew Coakley of our Northern Service.
It's been referred to as one of Grand Bahama's best kept secrets. And no, it may not be what you think, but this agency is responsible for helping to train Grand Bahamians for Grand Bahama's biggest economic boom expected to come. As the Davis administration continues to resuscitate and develop Grand Bahama's economy to the point where employers are calling out for more employees, a long-forgotten necessary component in the success of any economy is sometimes overlooked. What is that component? Customer service. This is where the National Training Agency takes center stage. Yes, the National Training Agency is one of Grand Bahama's best-kept secrets, according to the interim manager of the agency here in Grand Bahama, Ms. Deborah Pratt.
So NTA, of course, stands for the National Training Agency. The National Training Agency, it's an agency that was started here in the Bahamas 12 years ago. Actually, we just celebrated the 12th anniversary in July of this year. So it was started 12 years ago, but it's been 11 years for Grand Bahama. The training agency, it is basically a job readiness agency. What we do is work with young persons between the ages of 16 and 26 to help prepare them for entry-level in the workplace. So 16 to 26, and our core programs are usually 14 weeks. That 14 weeks, the first 4 weeks is for what we call mandatory workforce. It's the Mandatory Workforce Preparatory Program, MWPP. And that Mandatory Workforce Preparatory Program consists of soft skills training. So during the first 4 weeks of the program, the participants, they go through soft skills training, skills like customer service skills, communication skills, team building. We actually start with self-awareness and attitude. It's actually 14 modules that they go through. There's job preparation, where they learn how to prepare resumes, how to conduct themselves in an interview. So it's 14 modules for that first 4 weeks. After the first 4 weeks, the remaining 10 weeks of the program, they do practical training. And the practical training consists of practical hands-on training where they can get hands-on experience in a field of their choice. So here on Grand Bahama, we have done things in the past like office procedures. We have also done teacher's aid, and for this upcoming cohort, for the first time, we'll be partnering with BTVI, offering trades, construction trades, such as we have air conditioning, we have carpentry, plumbing, electrical work, things like those that we are offering for this upcoming cohort, which actually starts next week.
The NTA has evolved over the years it has been in operation, changing with the times, yet its core purpose has remained the same, to help people become more proficient in their respective jobs as it pertains to customer service. The NTA has gone beyond just becoming a beacon of second chances for those who may not have been as focused as they should have been in high school. The agency has become a trainer for those companies who endeavor to make their businesses more efficient.
I think the NTA is very important. And even though I said it's been here 11 years, I often say the National Training Agency, NTA, seems to be the best kept secret, especially here on Grand Bahama. A lot of people still don't seem to know about the training agency. And it's very important in that we have a lot of young persons who may not be working, because we target those persons who are not working, those persons, well, of course, they have to be Bahamians between the ages of 16 and 26, as I said already, who are not working. Some of them may not have done so well in school. They may not have gotten the certificates or met the criteria for graduation. But here at the National Training Agency, we say we are here to offer you a second chance. You may not have done so well academically, but a lot of people, they are good with their hands. So in coming to the training agency, you are being trained with those soft skills that I mentioned that you can use on any job, soft skills that you can use in life in general. And with the practical training, you have hands-on training in the field, in a field that you may be interested in. So it's very important. It's something that I would recommend to all young persons, something that helps them to have something to add to their resume. Once you say that you have graduated, or because we have a graduation ceremony as well, you've done these classes here with the National Training Agency, you have graduated, that looks good on your resume. We also work as a job placement agency. So we have, in a lot of cases, where companies call the training agency when they're looking to hire, because we have a list of all of the persons that would have gone through our program. So we have their resumes on file, and we can recommend, we can refer them. There's also an internship part of the program. We don't guarantee jobs, but I can say that a lot of the young persons who've gone through NTA have been kept on by the places that they did the internship. Depending on how they performed, they have been kept on at those places. So it's an excellent program, especially now with what's going on in Grand Bahama. All of these projects and these new initiatives that are coming to the island. You know, we have Celebration Key, and we have other initiatives that we're anticipating. This is the time now for Grand Bahamians to prepare themselves. So if you're not working, why not take the opportunity to participate in a free program? This is a free program. They don't have to pay a thing, okay? They don't have to pay a thing. It's a free program that they do with the soft skills training, and the National Training Agency actually pays the training providers for the skills training. So the National Training Agency pays for them to be trained with the skills part of it after they would have gone through the soft skills program with us.
The NTA has also become a job placement referral agency. Companies and businesses throughout Grand Bahama and the Northern Bahamas can contact the agency for resumes and recommendations on prospective employees. After all, the National Training Agency's reputation for providing the best training of employees is quickly making them a go-to resource for the best customer service.
What we're also doing now too is, especially because of all of the things that we are anticipating for Grand Bahama, that is something that we are offering to businesses. So our core program is what I spoke about, the 14 weeks program where they do the mandatory workforce preparatory program and then they do the training skills. But we also are now going into companies, or companies can, if they're interested in having their teams trained, we can do what we call standalone programs where we can offer you a customer service training or a training, that team building, something that you may be interested in. And that's something that we're looking at doing, or that we are actually doing for companies who are interested to, again, prepare us for this great economic boost that we're looking for. There's also a program that the NTA does called the Institute of Leadership and Management. It's a City and Guilds program, ILM, Institute of Leadership and Management, where companies can have their supervisors and their managers do this program. This is a program that they pay for, but anyone who's interested in having their leadership team on the job, their managers, their supervisors go through that certification. It's a certification done by City and Guilds through NTA. We have a City and Guilds Center. We are licensed to actually give those City and Guilds programs. So that, a lot of people have been taking advantage of that, not so much here on Grand Bahama, but that is something that we want to push as well, and that people know that these things can be done. We had a few immigration officers who graduated from the last ILM cohort, a few here on Grand Bahama as well. They did it virtually with the cohort that was going on in Nassau. But if we have greater interest from Grand Bahamians, from companies here locally who want to participate in that ILM, Institute of Leadership and Management, it's an excellent course that I would encourage companies to send their employees, their managers, and their supervisors to participate in.
For Your Government in Action, I'm Andrew Coakley.
In recognition of World Suicide Prevention Day and Orange Alert Day on September 10th, the Public Hospitals Authority conducted a one-day symposium at Zion Baptist Church, South Beach, where suicide prevention advocate, Senator the Honorable Darren Pitstock, urged society to prioritize compassion and awareness, noting that every life matters.
While today's program says that I am a suicide prevention advocate, I know that it is a title that we all hold in this room. Especially each one of us in this room, as our presence, both individually and collectively, suggests that we are all champions for life. We are all champions for life and mental health. And so let us commit to not just observing suicide prevention awareness today, but move forward spurring more honest and open discussions to prevent suicide and suicidal behavior in our country. As we deliberate throughout today, I believe
that it is important for us to engage in sober analysis of suicide statistics. According to the Royal Bahamas Police Force, a total of 8 suicides have been recorded so far for 2025, compared to the 8 recorded in all of 2024. Further, a total of 32 attempted suicides have been recorded for 2025, compared to the 50 reported in 2024. All suicide victims so far for 2025 have been males. I repeat, all suicides for 2025 have been males. The statistics from the police force also show that over the past 3 years, most suicide victims were under the age of 45. A serious red warning. That is further amplified by the 2025 Global School Health Survey, which revealed that 1 in 5 Bahamian students between the ages of 13 and 18 has attempted suicide. These statistics are staggering and heartbreaking. Now, we know that there is no single factor behind suicides, but we know that the pressures can be real. Depression, high expectations, disappointment, bullying, financial strains, and the negative influence of social media. As we bear in mind these pressures, let us remember that everyone is carrying a burden or hurt that we cannot see, or in some cases, understand. So let us be kind to one another and understanding. I repeat that. Let us be kind to one another and understanding. As a country, we cannot continue to lose our people to suicide. Every life matters. Every voice deserves to be heard. Every person who is going through a challenging time deserves to know that they are not alone.
I'm Carissa Williamson, and this has been Your Government in Action, a proud presentation of Bahamas Information Services. Join us on Tuesday evenings, where we bring you highlights, coverage, and information as we continue to do what we do best, linking people and government.